Hello and welcome to the premiere episode of NCCI's Insights Video Edition. I'm Sheila Fordson. Here, we'll recap all the latest research and articles recently published by NCCI featured on NCCI's Insights portal. You'll find links to each article we mention in this episode under the video in the description box below. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is common among first responders, but can affect workers in any industry. States are beginning to rethink what conditions qualify for work injury-related benefits. In Florida, Senate Bill 376 was recently enacted, providing workers' comp indemnity benefits to first responders suffering from PTSD, not requiring a physical injury to have occurred. This is just one example of how the issue is attracting the attention of system stakeholders.
PTSD falls into the category of a mental injury, meaning that some non-physical event has manifested as some non-physical injury. Legislators want to ensure that injured workers are properly taken care of through the workers' compensation system. But this can be challenging for PTSD since non-physical injuries can be more difficult to diagnose than physical injuries. Other issues would be, should first responders be treated differently than other occupations? When we say that they've witnessed something extraordinary, would that be extraordinary, for instance, for a police officer or extraordinary in relation to the general population? Also, what should be the standard of proof that they have an injury? Should first responders be given a rebuttable presumption that if they get PTSD, that it was in fact a result of work activities? NCCI's role is to advise the legislatures of the anticipated impact of proposed and enacted benefit changes. Meanwhile, it's the legislature's role to carefully balance the benefits that should be paid workers with the cost of those benefits that will ultimately be reflected in advisory loss costs and the rates that are charged to employers.
Released in June, NCCI's Countrywide Court Case Update reviews nationwide court cases and legal issues affecting workers' compensation. This mid-year analysis covers several topics, including developments in marijuana. To date, 5 states have authorized marijuana reimbursement under workers' comp, and several others are continuing to weigh the implications for legalizing cannabis for medicinal or recreational use.
So an important initiative for us in NCCI's legal division is keeping an eye on and staying abreast of legal developments that can have impacts for workers' compensation stakeholders. And legalization of marijuana is certainly one of those areas of the law that continues to evolve across the states and also federally. So as states adopt laws legalizing or decriminalizing medical or recreational marijuana, the courts are starting to see cases and consider how these laws interplay with and impact workers' compensation and also the broader workplace. So this is a developing area of the law that we do expect is going to continue to evolve and develop into the foreseeable future.
Additional countrywide court case update topics include attorney fee challenges, air ambulance reimbursements, and state-specific legal developments. An overview of current economic factors affecting workers' comp is now available in NCCI's latest quarterly economics briefing. The report highlights employment growth trends, medical inflation, and interest rates. This QEB has a focus on the impact of hospital consolidation. This includes mergers, acquisitions, affiliation agreements, and closures, a trend that began in 2010. According to industry sources, while consolidation does decrease operating costs for acquired facilities by 15 to 30%, it has the reverse effect on cost of care, increasing hospital service fees by 6 to 18%. It's anticipated that for workers' comp, hospital consolidation is likely to affect the quality and price of medical services. The full drill-down section of the QEB covers more on what motivated and drives this trend, how consolidation affects competition, and the relevant markets in which hospitals compete. Smartphones are revolutionizing many industries, and healthcare is certainly no exception. Through the use of technology, a visit to the doctor's office could one day be a thing of the past. Kaiser Permanente expects that roughly 7 million patients will use telemedicine services this year, up from only 350,000 in 2013. NCCI Assistant Actuary Robert Moss explores the potential benefits and risks of telemedicine in his recent article on this subject.
Maybe some positive attributes for telemedicine would be some efficiencies, especially related to costs, so that if somebody doesn't have to travel anymore, they can just get a diagnosis or evaluation at home. That eliminates travel as well as the costs associated with travel, like lodging and food. One of the issues associated with telemedicine, at least at the moment, is that while some states do have a fee schedule that guide the reimbursements for telemedicine services, other states are silent on it at the moment. So there is some uncertainty regarding the costs for those services. Some other things to be aware of, maybe the quality, or there could be the potential for misdiagnosis. There is a lack of regulation for telemedicine services. There could be some concerns about the security of data. And then there's also some costs associated with the technology. So there's some of the issues to be aware of. As the use of telemedicine expands in workers' compensation, NCCI will monitor the telemedicine experience, including the types of injuries that telemedicine is being used for, the type of telemedicine services that are being provided, as well as the costs of claims and services for those injuries.
Thanks for joining us for this month's Insights video edition. Join us next time when we discuss issues at the top of the workers' comp agenda. Make sure you don't miss an episode by subscribing to Channel NCCI and follow us on Twitter at NCCI. And remember, you can get more in-depth information on these and other industry topics, as well as all the latest research published by NCCI on the Insights section of our website, ncci.com/insights.